Så jag har två knappar. Va? So, hi, I'm Philip Colianos, and this is Jump Ship. So I am the game director of the game here at Keepsake Games.
My name is Daniel Kaplan. I work as the CEO here at Keepsake Games.
Cool. So where do we start? Should we just go crazy with the list where we left off?
Yes, let's do that.
We actually have a question here which is quite relevant from Tafik. I would like to be a playtester. I think this game would be massive and I want to help. My Steam name, blah, blah, blah. We have some updates regarding testing, right, Daniel?
Yeah, we've actually, in secret, we've been sending out emails to some of you, very few actually. Currently, we've sent out 100 emails and we got a response of a bunch of those. And the idea is to start testing with that group, if not this week, at least next week. And the reason why it's such a small group is to try out all the systems to make sure that sending out emails work, to getting feedback back, and hopefully acting on that feedback as well. Like, we've been working a lot on the systems to make sure that we can gather the feedback and the errors we got in a proper way, and it's almost there. And we've also set up a separate playtest app on Steam. So there is this playtest app that we've been prepping for that. And yeah, we are, I guess, as prepared as we can. Maybe Philip, you can tell us a little bit what kind of stuff there will be in the tiny test we'll be doing.
Right. So our plan is to do continuous playtests from now on up until launch. So yes, I know that a lot of you did not get the email and you're a bit crying, but don't be worried about that. We're gonna have to scale up the group a lot to make sure that on launch things are working properly. So this very first test is just making sure that we can get in contact with people and sort of get their feedback and all these things. Within the build itself, it's just a couple of missions basically. So you can start a mission with your friends. Whoever got selected got additional keys so they can play with their friends and invite their friends to play, and just try out inviting them over Steam, play a few missions, maybe upgrade your ship a couple of times, unlock one region extra and stuff like that. So it's sort of a mini scaled down version of what the final game will be. I'd be very curious to see like how people, we were not really given that many instructions. We're also a bit curious to see what happens, right? Hopefully the game will be stable enough that you guys will just start playing and sort of enjoy for as long as we have the game available for you. But as I said, fear not. We will roll these tests out continuously throughout. This is the very, very first tiny one.
Yeah, and it's also like very new for us as well to invite completely external people as well. We've initially gotten some help from Corwin, our moderator, to playtest with his friends, and a bunch of other groups from friends of friends. But yeah, now we feel more ready for complete strangers from the internet. Yeah, and this is a test to do that. And we're gonna do way more tests moving forward. So fret not. Obviously, I don't think everyone will get to be part of the closed beta, but we'll do our best. And we always, like, when doing these kind of tests, we always have something in mind that we want to try out, and maybe we're not always clear about that, but that's the intention, that there are very specific things we want to try out when doing these tests. So it's not just like a demo of the game per se. Yeah, and the game is obviously not finished, so it will be very broken as well.
Yes. It's not going to be the most fun experience the first time. We mainly just want to see that we can get telemetry from players, see if we can gather some information about playtime, if they get stuck somewhere and stuff like that. So this is super early.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go. By the way, I see Lone Dog in the list. Are you there? That's my old childhood friend. Hey, Foray.
Right. Row 350.
Nice.
A gameplay question about
You-
Det Halligan.
Do you want to read it?
Oh, I noticed now that it was very old as well. It was just on the ship, exploring how the ship worked when critically damaged and power dead strike. I think it would be a neat idea to have a minimal lightning when the ship runs out of power, and there are flickering emergency lights. This should force the flashlight to be more of a necessity. Yeah.
So ship running out of power is definitely something that can happen, and I personally have been fighting for this feature. We're definitely going to have that when we ship. So basically, when power runs out, you visually get that happening in the ship. It just all the lights turn off. You just have the red, typical submarine mode, and then as you turn power back on, you will see all the lights kind of flicker back on. I would say yes, that's a confirmed.
Yes, I don't have access to this, so this is the nice thing about community stuff, that us devs do not have access to everything, which is fine.
So the community, someone from the community has to confirm this. I think we didn't we do it last time.
But I think they changed the rules of this sheet after the meeting.
Okay.
Which makes sense because it was Wild West in this sheet.
Okay. Meanwhile, about how long will while you're looking for a new one, I will answer a question from chat. How long will a single run take? So the average would be 1 hour. But you can pick missions that are shorter. I think the goal will be around roughly 30 minutes. And then long missions, we call it marathons. We'll see how long they will be. If it's 1.5 or 2 hours, we'll have to test and see what feels good.
Row number 3 by
Has there been discussions on Steam? Oh, I can actually read this one. Has there been discussions on Steam platform integration features? The game is integrated with Steam today, to the point where you can invite your friends and stuff like that and see who's playing the game. I'm not sure if there are like other features that we don't have.
I mean, there are plenty that we don't have really, like trading cards and achievements, and we will put in those at a later stage. We don't prioritize achievements and trading cards and stuff like that at this time. I think that's something we will implement while we're in early access.
Oh, they say stream, not Steam.
Stream. Oh, okay. I am also retarded. I didn't see it was stream platform integration. Oh no, we don't have any stream platform integration features.
Nope. Sorry. Next one.
I also read it as Steam.
Flip first-person view model. So I guess if you can flip between right and left-handed, I guess. No, I don't think we will do that.
No, I'm left-handed as well, and it won't happen. Philip, you're also left-handed, right?
I am left-handed, yes, but I would never. If I ever shot a gun, I would use it the right-handed style. As a lefty, you learn to adapt with the norm. Yeah, it's us and Einstein.
Yeah. Row number 5. How about a friendly neighborly space whale? That's not gonna be implemented.
No space whales. Sorry about that. We actually don't have any animals in the game. It's only machines and humans.
Yeah. In maps that are dark nighttime, could we have a rare occurrence of auroras?
Would be cool. I don't think it will happen. not for the sake of it.
In space, or do they have to be like on the curvature of a planet or something like that?
You can see it from the International Space Station. So you can see it from the outside. Yeah.
I thought you had to be like on a planet, or like close to the surface of a planet.
No, you can see it from outside. Yeah. Fuzzy dice to hang in the cockpit. Love that idea. Maybe not. It's possible. Let's mark it possible. Not for release, but customizing your ship to that level of detail would be really fun, actually.
Yeah, I think so too. Or have like ones of those dancing, moving hips characters on your dashboard.
Yeah. Magnet weapon that you can use to push or pull enemy robots and loot. So it's not a magnet, it's the grappling hook, actually. So I would say that's confirmed. You can grapple to objects and you can grapple, say, items to you. We are looking into how we can integrate that to the combat as well. So I can't guarantee we will have something there, but probably yes.
Yeah, and you can grapple to the enemy ships as well.
Yeah. Will from the chat here, will there be weather effects and environmental hazards? Yes, there will be. There can be ion storms, asteroid showers, and a couple of others as well that can happen, sort of, and has sort of a big impact on the gameplay as well.
Yes.
All right. Attach balloons to cargo and scoop them up with the ship. Oh, I guess you're referring to some sort of Cold War experimental ways of scooping up people and things into cargo planes.
I think they have this in Metal Gear Solid 5 or something, where you attach balloons. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, we don't do that. Instead, all the items can be picked up in your hands. So you're the balloon.
Configurable elevator music for the airlock.
We have a jukebox, but no music in specifically the airlocks. Although that's kind of a funny idea, actually.
Currently, the airlocks, they're very fast to move through. It's only like a second or something. So it's not that you're spending a lot of time in the airlocks, really. But they could obviously have their own speaker.
Yeah. So someone from chat again asking how to possibly be part of the closed beta. The only way you can do it right now is to sign up for our email from our webpage. That's the list that we go through when we invite people. And that might change in the future, but then we'll, of course, make sure that you will know. Yes.
Next suggestion on the list, a space harmonica.
No. Maybe in the future, but not for. We are not looking at playing music up until release.
So this question is on row 13. I think the jetpack animation should have little flips and tricks. It would improve the gameplay experience greatly. Yeah, it would be cool to do barrel rolls and stuff like that, and just show off while jetpacking around. But it's not planned at this time. I guess we'll have to ask Alphonse, our animator, Alphonse the animator, if he can shove it in there. But it would obviously be very cool to polish up everything in the game. But it's a huge priority list to go through.
Yeah. Suggestion: Jump drive is a module that's pretty big, but for some locations it's been stolen, so you gotta physically retrieve it. We have different ways of preventing the players from just jumping. So you have to solve a problem to kind of be able to move and progress throughout the jump map. So specifically, the jump drive being stolen, no. But other ways of preventing you from progressing, blocking the jump drive, yes. One person asked, you talked about ship customization. Is the plan for gameplay to be broken into runs, or for it to be a continuous playthrough where your ship and your upgrades stay with you as you progress? So it is mission based, meaning that items that you find during the way don't stay, but if you find items or find components or whatever, and you upgrade your ship, the upgrades are permanent. So you can sort of find a new, say, engine that you don't have. You can play with it, and then you have like you bring it story-wise. You bring it back to base, and then you have a character there who you need to help. How do you say, reverse engineer it so you can sort of have it as an unlock for your ship in the future. So no, but would be the answer there. The ship is not 100% persistent, but there is progress, and whatever you find in the levels have some impact on your future runs.
Someone asked a question here on row 18, or a suggestion. It is again time to reiterate my genuine feature suggestion for soccer ball skins at some point. Lol. Yeah. Maybe, do you have the game up and running, Philip? If you want to share your screen and just show what the heck.
Sure. Yeah, we haven't really. This is a first one. So this is going to be a world first. All right. So what we're looking at right now is the welcome screen. Very fancy and nice, right? Here's my avatar. So if I change my character's looks, he will be changing here in the start screen. We have the option here to play tutorial. I'm not going to show that today. But the Hangar is basically your hub. This is where you invite your friends over. And this is where we can sort of start missions together. So let's have a look at that. I'm sure we get some bug reports and stuff for red text. Ignore that. Here we go. So now I'm inside the Hangar. And I can run around freely and interact with things if I would like to. And we have some cool characters hanging out here that I can interact with, where I can change my suit. I can start talking. They can give us ventures, which is essentially missions or quests, if you'd like. And then, we can keep talking with them, run around. I don't want to show too much because I also want you guys to have an opportunity to explore this stuff once you get the game. But we have some little toys, things to have fun with. So we have a football game. You can score. And if you lose the ball, a character reacts to that. And then, of course, here is the ship section. We can see different modules or components that I have left to unlock. And I can also decide what equipment to put into my ship. As you can see right now, I don't have much unlocked. I'm just going to run with sort of the most basic components. But as you progress in the game, you will kind of unlock more things here, and then you can pick different weapons or engines for your ship. We also have the opportunity to change ship, so I can confirm that you will be able to buy new ships. Here is our current ship, and we can unlock new ships and sort of that are tailored a little bit different, depending on sort of what type of ship it is. I hope you guys can see. Or okay, can you still see it? Okay, cool. So yeah, apologies for the technical stuff, but we're gonna send this video out, so you'll be able to see it later. And then the big deal is the galaxy map. So Jump Ship is a game where everything is about the machines have taken over. We're just a few surviving humans, and we need to take the fight back to the machines. And the people you're playing believe that the solution is somewhere in the core of the galaxy. So that's the mission. find a way to get back to the core and take the fight to the enemy, basically. So you start off at the edge here in Atira, which is a region where you start. And then as you progress, you will unlock more and more regions around the area. Looking at one region, we can also select a bunch of different missions with different challenge rating. That's basically our difficulty, what type of rewards you get. And then also some ventures or quests will be kind of tied to completing certain missions at a certain difficulty or in a specific region and stuff like that. So we have different missions, and these are kind of randomized what type of mission it is. So you would pick one of those and then, invite your friends and then have them play. And then we just, as soon as everybody's ready, you will sort of start a mission. So I can show you that quickly right now. I just type ready. And, pretty soon we'll be in the game. So yeah, now we're in the game and ready to roll. So now I'm in a mission. And here is the jump map. And at the very end is the big challenge. And once we've progressively jumped through this map, survived every encounter, we'll sort of loop back to the hangar that we just showed. All right. Yes. Yeah. So we're looking at that. Your progress through the map will be individual. So it's not like all players, the whole community needs to do something to unlock a new region. It's basically you yourself completing ventures and then investing some of your credits to unlock new areas. However, we're also looking into different ways that we can sync the map so that the missions maybe are matching across all players or not. We'll see there, but we don't have any sort of requirement where the whole player base have to kind of collaborate or do something together to achieve a certain goal. It is individual, and we are, and I think the reason is because we would like in the future to have much more storytelling and stuff like that woven into your progress, so that there is a sense of purpose and context to what you're doing. And I think.
Hello. No, but you were talking about the community and this. Story missions and stuff like that we want to move into the galaxy map.
Oh yeah. And for that reason, I don't think sort of having these sort of community goals in that way would work. But there might be something we can find there to find a balance where there are some things we can do as a group. Maybe. Can we buy a box edition of this game? No. Not really.
Yeah. Hopefully, if the game is doing well,
it would be.
Then we're gonna look into making a box edition, so we can have our own game instead of Half-Life standing here.
That's every game developer's dream, to have a lot of, boxes and box art and all these trinkets. That's always fun to have, and it's sort of a bit of a kind of confirmation that your game is doing well. So
yeah. All right, let's do some more questions from the Hey, where did he go?
So there was a question about the ship upgrades, if they are locked to whoever is hosting. The answer is yes. The host is sort of the instance of the game you're playing, so that's true for regions as well. However, next question, of course, would be, how does individual progression work? Basically, whatever unlock you do or whatever thing you complete, it gets split together. So you will not make more credits by playing solo. You will get equal rewards.
Yeah. There was a question about mini games in the hub.
Yeah.
He's got a hub like DRG, which is Deep Rock Galactic. I need the prop hunt mode now. Every hub location needs a prop hunt minigame.
Okay, so that's quite a large thing. Not initially. But as you know, the game does not have friendly fire. But maybe we have an arena inside the hub where you can shoot each other, like laser dome style or something. Right now, we have the football game. Will you be releasing private server software for us to host our own games? So you are actually hosting your own games on your machine when you are inviting people to your session. We don't have any cloud servers. The only cloud server we have is to kind of coordinate and syncing up play sessions. So like, your computers can talk to each other basically.
So Philip, there was a question here on row 42.
Yeah.
So we know there's jetpacks that can be used in wide open areas. What about close-up indoor battles? What if you just finish off a wave at my corner of the place and my teammate is getting hammered at the opposite corner? Can I use the jetpack to quickly get over there? If so, will there be a risk factor such as I could slam into an enemy, a wall, or another obstacle so I could give myself damage? I have no idea what CRS is, but yeah, you get the question.
Yeah, so jetpacks and how they work. When the level designer is building a level, they define which areas and volumes that are going to have jetpacks, where we allow it basically. So we have different levels of gravity, where like the heaviest gravity or normal gravity does not allow for jetpacking, and that would be true for interiors, unless they're very big. So it's up to the designer where it makes sense. If you're in a big open space, let's say a desert, and you can jetpack and you want to fly over and help a friend, you in jetpack mode will definitely clash into things and take damage if you smash into a wall or something like that. Is all progression tied to the ship, or is there individual perks and talents? So as of today, the individual perks is basically different armors, suits that you can unlock. But we haven't made a big skill tree or anything like that. It's basically your looks is what you can change, and we are gonna make sure that the suits give you a little bit of number shifting. Maybe you can have a bit more ammo or something like that if you have the combat suit. Or maybe you can handle radiation better if you have the sort of other suits and stuff like that. But for now, we're not going deeper into individual progression than that. But I have a feeling that we're going to have a dialogue here with the community once the game is out. If that's something that you guys feel is very important for you, rather than focusing on the ship, then it's something we have to reevaluate.
Yeah. On row 50, we have a question from Tempest. I keep seeing comparisons to Sea of Thieves, so if the game could have some form of alcohol and music instruments, that would be great.
Alcohol is confirmed. We have our own beer brand called the Jump Brew. We're gonna show that in Space Spice. That's actually a pretty good one too. Space Spice. That's a pretty good one. But we don't have any music instruments. We just have a jukebox.
And I think like maybe a broader topic would be more like idle activities in a sense that music instrument is part of. Like, what do you do when you're not flying the ship or attacking another enemy or whatever? Like, how do I enjoy the game while waiting a little bit for the action to happen?
Yeah, the plan there is to kind of fill up the ship with a lot of these funny, quirky interactions to keep yourself busy. We've been talking a lot about card games or type of games you can have sitting in the canteen in the mess hall, and then of course the beer, and then we have the funny toilet implemented and stuff like that. So there are a bunch of things, but I think with time we'll probably increase the amount of sort of idle activities that you can do while on a mission as well.
Yeah. Another question, Misk.
Music fading would be so cool.
SFX mix in a sense, and yeah, we will have that and music mix.
Yeah. So the music dynamically changes depending on what's happening, whether it's scrum combat, whether it's sort of a big event happening or space combat or just you exploring. That's all in there. We're definitely going to have the sound. Like, I don't like when people say, "Oh, I can hear stuff in space. That's weird. Why everything should be quiet in space?" I'm like, yeah, you will enjoy that for 2 seconds. But with that said, I think the sound should change when you are in 0G to reflect that, hey, I'm sort of in a different state, stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the sound. We have a studio that we're working with here in Stockholm that helps us with the sound, and they're absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I can't wait to share more of the game with all the amazing sound they're making.
Yeah, and row 54 is kind of like in the same ballpark there. Can I just have an option to turn off music? And yeah, you can turn off music.
Absolutely. Yes, I do that as a. This is a developer thing. When you're playing a game and you're working on a game, 10 hours per day, like the music and the sound is the first thing you turn off because it drives you crazy, especially when it's not finalized and it's bugging you well. So yes, muting music is something you can do.
Row 56. Just a suggestion I thought of today. I know the game is targeted to be released on Steam and Xbox. Perhaps someday in the future, the devs might consider a GOG release, a good old game release. It'd be nice to have a game as cool as this to be DRM free. Again, just a suggestion. I guess
Cool.
at the end of the day, is more about like, can you play the game offline, like offline play? Um, and our ambition is that you should be able to play this in offline mode. It's just like a matter of how do we deal with conflicts with progression and stuff like that when you eventually go online, because usually this online feature will probably be used when your internet is down or Steam is down or Xbox is down or whatever service is down, so you can continue playing the game, and it can cause conflicts with your save files, and that's something we just need to figure out how to deal with in a good way. I think, or what's your
Yeah.
thinking, definitely? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we have some good ideas on how to do that. I don't know if we are able to ship this exactly on early access, but it's something that we kind of. It's definitely doable for us. Like, the game is not super complex in that sense. It's more like where should we put our priorities for first release. Basically, it will come in the game at some point, but I can't promise on release day.
And the game is obviously heavily focused on co-op and playing together with other friends, so it's a better experience when being connected and playing online. Yeah, but obviously you will be able to play solo as well, just to just to put it in there.
Yes, you can play alone. Yes. It will, obviously, it's a co-op game. It will not be as great, but you can absolutely play alone.
Heavy gravity. Here's a question about level design on row 57. Regards to gravity, can you
my favorite topic. Yes.
Can you have a planet with very heavy gravity, so you take fall damage, you can jump as high, your bullets drop off, or if you throw a grenade, it just instantly falls on your feet and explodes, or something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
We don't have heavy gravity, but it's an interesting prospect that we haven't explored, even discussed, actually. We have normal up to 0 gravity. So, like, there are 3 steps there: normal, light, and no gravity, which is different for different levels and stuff. But we don't have heavy. But there is something interesting there. Fall damage is something we don't have in the game.
It feels like you're gonna be limited way more than necessary. But maybe for a sequence.
Well, I think my point is, I see your point, but it's also, from a designer's point of view, there is something interesting in sometimes putting that restriction. So you have a jump puzzle where you can't just do whatever.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
But no, it's not like every other planet will be heavy gravity. No, that's not going to be the case. What is your vision for the game after its launch? Are there some ideas to keep the game going after a year? So we're gonna release the game in early access, and I think our strategy there is to have a very little strategy and be responsive to what the community wants from us, at least in the beginning. Of course, we'll have like some things of what we would like to do, like different options. We could do A, B, or C, but also be quite attentive to how you guys play the game. Maybe much more players than we expect play solo alone, and then we have to respond to that and sort of make sure that the game works better playing alone. That could be one option. It could also be that you guys really enjoy the story part of the game or the little that we have and want to see that much more. Then we have to respond to that and kind of prioritize storytelling more. It could also be that you just want more ships or more levels, more variety. I don't know. Then we have to respond to that. So the plan is to work on the game for quite some time after early access. And keep it going until money runs out. Or like honestly, it depends on the popularity, how many players are there, and sort of if we can keep financing the project.
Yeah, our
Yeah,
ambition
that's
is to
my
work. Our ambition is to work on this game for a very, very long time.
question. Do you think you have a research tree added in the future? Since you did show that we do have some unlocks, it'd be fun to have research things. Yeah, it kind of is like a research tree in a way, but yeah, I mean, we're open to displaying the progress in different ways, I guess. But as it is today, it's a character who's doing the research for you, and you cannot provide that character with things. And then they will solve that. Will you be joining us when the game is in our hands? Mean play with randos? Every day of the week. Yeah, that'd be fun. Absolutely. If I'm not so sick and tired of the game by then. I don't think so.
Shh. You will be super excited.
Absolutely.
Another question got reiterated here. When it comes to movement in space, will the feel of movement when you're out of gravity and friction reflect that? Other games I have played where they say they are in space feel more like they are just underwater.
Yeah. So there is a good reason for why most games do the swimming rather than having no friction. I've definitely been experimenting with having realistic uh, forces and friction in zero G, and it's honestly very awful. So we will take the route that other games have done as well. We want the game to be easy to play and sort of approachable, not just for the hardcore simulation people, but for everybody. So um, we've decided to take that route, and that includes playing the spaceship. Steering and flying the spaceship is something that's supposed to be very easy, and sort of you don't have to focus on how, but rather what to do when flying.
There was a question about can we name our ships? Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, and I think from 24/7 testing, like fun trumps realism. And I think we, I mean, we're a space game, but we're not a space simulator game. Um, that's a big difference. Just like Sea of Thieves is a space pirate game, but it's not a naval fleet simulator game. I would say, yeah, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, yeah. And I think whenever we work on features, it's very important to us as a studio that it's approachable and understandable even for unexperienced players. So we're really trying to make sure that the game isn't, we kind of find the sweet spot where it's like complex enough that you feel like you can master the game, but not so complex that we kind of alienate players that might want to play the game, which is a very difficult balance.
Yeah. One last question, Philip, and then I think we'll wrap it up.
Okay, cool. Shoot. Can a new player join you at any point of a mission? This has been a hot topic in the studio for a long time. Of course, we want players to be able to join at any point, but there is a lot of technical challenges to that. So, what I can promise is that you will be able to join an ongoing session, but you might not be able to join them until they make a jump. So, you will kind of basically be like, hey, I want to join my friend. You sit in queue. Once they do the next jump in their mission, then you will come. Because then we can guarantee that, okay, everything syncs correctly and looks right on both sides. Post EA, post us launching the game, we will improve this to have more entry points throughout playing a level where you can join as well, so you don't have to, potentially sit there for a couple of minutes before joining. But the goal is to be able to join at any point, but that's not going to be the case when we launch early access.
All right, do you want to take in one more last more last question?
All right. Okay. Think hard, chat. If you have one question, what would it be? The last.
For this year.
Yeah. Can you use joysticks? We do support gamepad, so that means joysticks should kind of be working. I know a lot of people love Hodas. That's a bit more involving. Will probably not be at launch. But I have a Hodas myself, and I want it. But then Daniel is like, no, focus on the game, not the. The problem is that with a Hodas, that sucks when playing a first-person shooter. And our game, we just switch in between quite a lot, so it doesn't make 100% sense to kind of play with a joystick. But gamepad works fine.
Yeah, it's not that we hate Hodas; it's just that we have to prioritize, and Hodas is like
I have to be
a subset of subset.
When you say we, it's you. I'm all for it.
Yeah, we've already been feature creeping for the
Okay,
last
cool.
3 years, so yeah, it is.
Mm.
It is hard to turn down suggestions and requests from the team and the community as well, obviously. But it is what it is. Otherwise, we would never finish this game.
Yeah. One final question. Not trying to repeat the spam, but is there plans for larger group sizes than 4? I've been jokingly said that every year we will increase the max play count by 1. So at the very end, maybe 10 people. We've had discussions, but not super seriously. We'll see. Technically, there's nothing stopping us. It's more of a design challenge because we have to kind of scale all the enemies and make everything work. So, like, if you play easy, 4 players versus 3 players is a big difference, and we have to test all that out. And then with 5 players, that changes a lot as well. So it's more of a design challenge and sort of us testing the hell out of the game to make that all of these things work. And I think I won't say never, but
it's a big commitment.
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone who listened in. Really appreciate this, and that's all for this time.
All right. See you next time. Have a good time. Bye.